Your life is on hold, and you placed it there. Every time you hesitate, every time you ask, "Can I?" Every time you wait for a sign, a blessing, a nod from someone else, you are giving your power away. You have been conditioned to seek permission. From parents, from bosses, from society, from imaginary judges in your mind. That conditioning ends right now. This book is not about confidence. It's about sovereignty. It's about understanding that the permission you seek is a phantom. The only signature required on the contract of your life is your own. Stop waiting. Start building. Chapter 1. The Permission Paradox. The sickness that keeps you small has a name. The permission paradox. Here's how it works. The more permission you seek, the less worthy of authority you appear. It's a vicious cycle. When you ask, "Can I?" you're signaling uncertainty. When people sense your uncertainty, they withhold trust. You seek permission to be trusted, and the very act of seeking proves you untrustworthy. This started in childhood. "Can I have a cookie? Can I go outside?" That was necessary then. You're an adult now, but the programming still runs. You've just transferred the question from parents to bosses, partners, society. You're still waiting for the cookie in the middle of your own life. True authority is never given, it's taken. Look at anyone who builds, leads, creates. They don't ask. They inform. They don't seek consensus. They set direction. They operate from, "I will not. May I?" This isn't arrogance. It's responsibility. Recognizing that in the vacuum of action, nothing happens. We reclaim the phrase, "Ask for forgiveness, not permission." This isn't about recklessness. It's about impact versus intention. When you ask permission, you're selling a hypothetical idea. When you act first, you're presenting a tangible result. It's harder to reject a solved problem than a vague suggestion. Your first action, identify your top 3 permission domains. Where are you still raising your hand like a child? Work/financial, needing approval for every small decision. Relationships/creative life, seeking validation before pursuing what you love. Personal identity, waiting for internal permission to be confident, to take up space. Map the bars of your cage. Liberation starts with seeing the mechanism clearly. Chapter 2. Your life is not a committee decision. Stop treating your choices like they need a group vote. Your life is not a committee decision, yet you run every idea by people getting feedback, watching faces, weighing opinions. Here's the brutal truth. By seeking consensus, you dilute your vision until it's mediocre enough to offend no one and inspire no one. Committees exist for risk mitigation, not greatness. Their goal isn't, did we create something extraordinary? But did we avoid blame? When you bring your unique vision to any group, family, friends, colleagues, the sharp edges get sanded off, the bold color turns to beige. You end up with the lowest common denominator. Your most original ideas will always be rejected by consensus. If your idea is truly new, truly disruptive, it makes people uncomfortable. The committee, the collective voice of the status quo, exists to maintain equilibrium. Your original idea disturbs that equilibrium. You're asking the guardians of ordinary to bless your departure from ordinary. It won't happen. New mantra. Consensus is the enemy of genius. Genius isn't about IQ, it's about originality. It's non-consensual by definition. It breaks agreements. Your action this week: make one significant decision without consulting anyone. Not your partner, not your best friend, no one. Choose something that gives you that flutter of anxiety, something you'd normally run by someone. Then observe 2 things. The outcome, did the world end? And your emotional response. Notice the power you feel after deciding, even if the outcome is uncertain. You're building the muscle of sovereignty. Chapter 3. The high cost of just checking. That harmless phrase, just checking in, wanted to run this by you, is costing you everything. Every check-in is a micro-surrender of autonomy. It teaches people to expect your submission. It telegraphs insecurity and trains others to see you as subordinate. Think of your communication as status signals. Just checking, signals lower status. Here's my progress. Signals leadership. The language of permission is the language of childhood. The language of ownership is the language of adulthood. The cost compounds. Each time you check, you reinforce your position as someone who needs supervision. You invite micromanagement. You train people to doubt your judgment. You're paying with your authority, your time, and your peace. Shift from permission-based to progress-based communication. Instead of, "Can I try this approach?" say, "I'm testing this approach and will report results Tuesday." Instead of, "Is it okay if I," say, "My plan is to," "Here's how I'll mitigate risks." Your immediate action: convert one upcoming permission request into a progress update. Have that meeting, send that email. Frame it around what you've already done or decided to do. Watch how the dynamic shifts. You're not asking for a green light, you're reporting which mile marker you've passed. Chapter 4. Reclaim your signature authority. You've been signing your life away with invisible signatures of doubt. Every hesitant, maybe, every qualified "I think," every apologetic "sorry to bother you." Your signature, your personal brand of decision-making has been weak, scribbled, unclear. It's time to sign your name with boldness. Your signature authority is your right to make final decisions in your domains. Not to be right every time, but to be decisive. To own the call and its consequences. Practice the definitive close. End decision-making conversations with "I've decided to," instead of "What do you think about?" Notice the difference in energy. One is leadership, the other is polling. This isn't about being rigid, it's about being clear. Clarity is kindness to yourself and others. When you're clear about your decisions, you free up mental energy that was wasted in deliberation. You communicate stability. People know where you stand. Your action. Review your last 10 emails or messages. How many contain hesitant language? Just "sorry," "maybe," if that's okay. Rewrite one of them with definitive language. Delete the qualifiers. State what is. Feel the power in that clarity. Chapter 5. Build first. Apologize never. Action creates its own legitimacy. A finished prototype, a launched page, tangible results. These are infinitely more persuasive than polished proposals. You don't need permission to experiment with your own time and resources. Create facts on the ground. Build first. Mentality flips the script. Instead of seeking approval for an idea, you invest the minimum resources to create something real. Then you show it. The conversation changes from "Can I?" to "Look what I made." From hypothetical to actual. This is how innovators operate. They don't wait for corporate approval to build in their garage. Don't wait for gallery approval to make art. They create the artifact. The artifact then speaks for itself. What can you build in 48 hours? A one-page website? A sample chapter? A prototype? The rule is simple. Create the artifact. Don't talk about it. Build it. The act of building will teach you more than 1,000 permission-seeking conversations. Your 48-hour challenge. Pick one idea, something you've been talking about but not doing. Give yourself 48 hours to create a minimum viable version. Not perfect, not complete, just real. It with no one unless absolutely necessary. The goal isn't feedback, it's proving to yourself that you can go from idea to object without committee approval. Chapter 6. The myth of ready. Ready is a myth sold by people who don't want you to start. You become ready through action, not preparation. Perfectionism is just permission-seeking disguised as quality control. It's a stall tactic approved by your fear. Examine your readiness checklist. What are you waiting for? More money? More knowledge? The right time? The planets to align. These are illusions. The right time is a fiction. There is only now. The 80% rule. Launch when you're 80% ready. The final 20%, the polishing, the perfecting, that's where dreams go to die. That last 20% takes 80% of the time and adds 2% of the value. It's where you hide from judgment, from shipping, from reality. Counter mantra: ready is a lie. Start is the truth. Starting before you're ready forces competence. It forces learning. It forces adaptation. These are things preparation can never give you. Your action. Take something you've been preparing, a project, a conversation, a change, and launch it at 80% readiness. Notice what happens. The feedback you get will be about real things, not hypothetical concerns. The learning will be exponential. You'll realize you were never going to feel ready. The feeling of readiness comes from being in motion, not from standing still. Chapter 7. Invisible Judges. Delete the panel. The most damaging permission you seek comes from judges who don't exist. The panel in your mind, past teachers, disapproving parents, societal expectations, that critical voice from years ago. You're constantly presenting your life to a tribunal that dissolved long ago. Their verdict is holding you hostage. Name your judges. Who's on your internal panel? The teacher who said you weren't smart enough? The parent who wanted you to be practical? The ex who made you feel inadequate? Society's voice saying, "Who do you think you are?" These judges have no current data. They're ruling based on old evidence, outdated standards. Yet you give them a lifetime appointment in your mind. The courtroom visualization. Imagine your mind as a courtroom. Your judges are there. Stand up. Address them. Thank you for your past service. Your opinions are based on information that is no longer relevant. You are hereby dismissed. Watch them leave. Lock the door. Your action. Write down your top 3 internal judges. Next to each, write the specific permission you've been seeking from them. Then write, "I dismiss this judge. I grant myself this permission." Sign it. Date it. This isn't metaphor, it's neural rewiring. Chapter 8. Become a fact creator. Not a request submitter. Power flows to those who create new realities. Subordinates submit requests. Leaders present facts. This is an identity shift, from someone who asks to someone who does. Language retraining is essential. Your words shape your identity, and your identity shapes your actions. Replace "Can I try?" with "I'm going to test." "Is it okay if?" with "My approach will be." "Do you think I should?" with "I've decided to." "I need permission to," with "I'm proceeding with." Notice the psychological shift. The first set places power outside yourself. The second set assumes authority. This extends to how you frame conversations. Don't present problems without proposed solutions. Don't ask, "What should we do?" Say, "Here's the situation. Here's my analysis. Here's my recommended action." Even if your recommendation isn't perfect, you're practicing fact creation. Your week-long practice, for 7 days, consciously retrain your language. Carry a small notebook. Every time you catch yourself using permission-seeking language, write it down and rewrite it in fact-creating language. By day 7, the new patterns will begin to feel natural. You're not just changing words or changing your relationship to your own power. Chapter 9. The unapologetic no. The ultimate expression of not needing permission is the unapologetic no. Your ability to decline requests without flinching, without explaining, without guilt. This is sovereignty in action. Your no is a complete sentence. Every explanation that follows is a crack in your authority, an invitation to debate. "No, I can't take that on, period." Not "no." Because the moment you give a reason, you open the door for negotiation, for your reason to be countered. Understand the economics of yes. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your priorities, you're saying no to something that does. You're trading your limited time, energy, and focus for someone else's agenda, often for free, often for social approval that evaporates instantly. Practice the clean no. This week, say a clean no to one request. No explanation. "No, I'm sorry, but," just "No, I can't commit to that." Observe what happens. Does the requester collapse? Do they respect you more? Does the sky fall? Spoiler, it won't. Boundary drill. Identify your top 3 energy-draining activities, things you do primarily out of obligation or fear of saying no. For each, plan your clean, no response in advance. Rehearse it. Your goal isn't to be mean, it's to be clear. Clarity is ultimately kinder than resentful compliance. Chapter 10. Living in declaration, not negotiation, the end state. A life lived in declaration. You state what you will do, who you are, what you stand for. You don't negotiate these terms with the world. Your life is your kingdom. You are its sovereign. Sovereigns issue declarations, they don't beg for treaties. This is the integration of everything you've learned, from seeing the permission paradox to dismissing internal judges to saying clean no-s. Now you live from declaration. What does this look like daily? You declare your priorities, then structure your time around them. You declare your standards, then enforce them. You declare your direction, then take consistent action. You declare your worth, then charge accordingly. The declaration mindset versus the negotiation mindset. Declaration: this is who I am. Negotiation: who should I be to make you comfortable? Declaration: this is what I'm building. Negotiation: what should I build to get approval? Declaration: this is my value. Negotiation: what value should I provide to be accepted? Your final action: write your declaration of sovereignty. A 1-page document with 5 declarations. In my work, I declare sovereignty over. In my relationships, I declare sovereignty over. With my time, I declare sovereignty over. Over my mind, I declare sovereignty over. For my future, I declare sovereignty to. Sign it. Date it. This document isn't for show, it's your compass. When you feel yourself slipping into permission seeking, read it. It reminds you, you are the authority in your life. This ends now. The seeking, the checking, the waiting. You now understand the mechanism of your own cage. You see the permission paradox. You've identified the invisible judges. You know the cost of just checking. From this moment forward, you operate differently. You build first. You report progress. You declare. You do not propose. You understand that ready was the lie fear told you to keep you small. Your signature is the only one that matters on the documents of your destiny. The world is filled with people waiting for a starting gun that will never fire. Do not be one of them. You have the blueprint. The only permission you ever needed was your own, and you have just granted it. Now go. Create facts. Build your kingdom and rule it.